There you go.
And but you say by opening the mind like it's an easy thing to do.
No.
Like it's very difficult for people to open their minds, especially in the moment.
Agree.
So there's at this property that I manage. I mean, I see it all when it comes to people and just they facing every emotion on the spectrum.
Right.
And when someone is feeling in a state of rage or in a state of high anxiety, it's hard to be like, just open your mind, man. It's all good. Like they either don't want to hear it or they're unable to hear it because they're overrun by, the passion of the moment.
Yeah.
And I just, but taking that split second to remember, like to just let's breathe and open the mind and let's see what comes in because there's going to be your solution.
Yeah, that's true. And a lot of people can't breathe and open up the mind because they can't see what's in front of them. And I say that to say this is too because even in my journey, I've been offered solutions to problems and I bypass them because I only thought my solution can come one way and from maybe a particular type of source, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not really realizing that there's 9 ways to skin a cat.
Right. Yeah. And when they find out which one of those ways is the best way for them, it's like an epiphany. Or it's a revelation of, wow, I don't need to be acting this way, or there's another opportunity here that I didn't see before.
Exactly.
And and I guess we can circle how this relates to what we're doing with the Flow Dojo and the Magical Media House is um, the movement assists in that process of opening the mind to find the solution. And so when we're putting them on the workout and then going deep into their story on the podcast, they might get insights um, and points of view on things that they've been carrying for maybe 20 years.
I totally agree with you because in the short time you and I have been doing the podcast, I have had a lot of aha moments, epiphany moments, like wow moments, and just creative thought moments, And my understanding of what you're saying is that when you connect the two, what Magical Media is doing with Flow Dojo is not only working the body, but he's also allowing you to control your breath, which also opens up the third eye, so to speak. You know what I mean? The illumination of your mind, however you want to highlight it. And then you have Magical Media coming in with a podcast sector, with the T sector, but all these things are so natural in its flow that you will be able to come and get the insight from what your body is speaking from after a workout.
Exactly. And we're just setting up the conditions for people to get those insights on their own. We're not telling them they're going to come in and we're going to enlighten them. We just setting it up so to best help your chances so you can get that on your own. But
Hey
if you're
man,
stuck in the same patterns and things, it won't happen.
And I'm glad that you said that because what we have here in the recording of our YouTube podcasting, right? What we have here is really a template that's being hand structured or sculptured to when we do it really have an guests to come in and sit down. It's going to be such a professional and laid back environment. You're going to have the opportunity to express more than what you need to express just to learn from yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's about when you're able to get in a situation where you can sit down and be with yourself or speak with someone else and be able to speak life into existence and take that wisdom from what you're speaking and apply it to the same journey that you're walking.
Right. And I think that just the way that that we are is hmm, uh, I don't know. I mean, it seems like going back to the whole Rick Rubin thing, you know, it's like artists say when they're around Rick Rubin, like he's just allowing them to kind of be themselves type of thing. And that's so rare in in the professional industries. Like a lot of times people are trying to suggest or persuade people to do things that they're not or maybe don't feel comfortable with. But just being around a couple of people who are saying, man, this is your time to do what you want. This is all you. You know, that alone is like a rare thing.
Man, and well, that's I'm the newest Rick Rubin. You just call me Marv Mashin, right?
Yeah,
Like,
the reggae Rick Rubin.
I'm the reggae Rick Rubin. You know what I mean? And honestly, I really accept that with all due praises and respect, based on the simple fact that I seen his production and the follow up behind it, and the intent that he has in bringing forth quality messages from people or artists. I have the same intention. I have the same intention to allow someone to be free in what they do and explore. All I want to do is be someone to be able to articulate my standpoint of creativity or consultation or whatever it may be to heighten where you're going. I just want to be that person that you can rely on and say, well, this is an ear that I know is going to listen, and this is a mouth that I know is going to speak wisdom. So I am the reggae Rick Rubin.
Yeah. And even after, like, let's say they finish up the workout and they're thinking like, wow, this is so different and outside of the box, as they say. And it's almost alone, like, is a challenge to them to, all right, well, now what can I do outside the box? I've been thinking too small, or maybe I've been holding back.
Right.
Or maybe there's things that I can do to really express my creativity on a larger scale. And it's being in an environment where it's full of outside the box thinking and outside the box, um, um, you know, productions.
Well,
Then it's gonna push the envelope, and they're gonna want. All right, well, I'm gonna try something new. I'm gonna push it now. It happened automatically without us even have to say words.
right. But I think the rarity of meeting someone on your level to be able to converse that knowledge, to be able to structure where you're going, is totally different from running to somebody who may have an idea but don't have the elaboration of or expression of thought, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you and I don't know how it happened, but the synergy was just automatically amazing. But I think that we have the ability to grow on every type of conversation, whether it's dealing with the Flow Dojo or Magical Media, whether it's just dealing man to man, whether it's dealing with just talking parables or psalms or proverbs, right? I think it all makes sense, and I think this is what the natural. I think this is the Rick Rubin part. This is the naturalness of the continuum of creativity. It doesn't have to just be all situated in one particular area. We are human beings. Our minds are not structured to just think on one thing and one thing alone. We are meant to think in out the box and out the way thought processes. So, and even in conversations with people, you'll find yourself drifting off to somewhere else, but that's part of your journey. And these are the things that we have no control of. We just find ourselves somewhere doing something that we don't know, God knows what, but it comes out to be viral. It comes out to be a hit. It comes out to be where you're recognized for something that you did and you just did it naturally.
1,000%. And I like the word, and I don't even know if it is a word, but it doesn't matter, is the naturalness.
I don't know if that's a word. I heard when I said it.
Yeah. But we talk about naturalness, like what an underrated concept.
Right.
You know, we should all be trying to get back to our own nature. You know, how
True.
we really are, back to our essence, and
True.
doing things that feel natural to us. Like, oh, this is that you know, it's very flow state ish. It's like, this just feels natural. I'm just flowing with this.
Well, and but that's the whole thing of the flow dojo. It is a flow, and outside the exercising, you have to find what you flow with, and it has to be in a natural element. You know, for myself, you know, I flow with the exercise. You know, flow dojo gives me the breath and it gives me the stamina and enhancement, and I'm able to have that long endurance. But the naturalness of that flows me into taking care of animals on a farm, which in return it gives me a production of eggs, which I'm able to provide food for my family. Then I'm able to take those same eggs and exchange and barter with people who have vegetables, who have fruit trees, things that are also natural, keeping it all within a flow dojo type of spectrum. And what we realize is that when you realize your freedom is just having time back to be free, you'll realize you won't work as hard. You won't work as hard to be free because it's a natural thing.
It is. It is.
It's a natural thing to be free. So why are you working hard to be free? You just have to find the things that are natural in your life, be good at it and make great at it, and find people that has an exchange of what you can do to give them and receive something that's natural from them. And then you may receive, just say you may be getting honey. I got eggs and you're giving me honey, but the flow of the eggs and honey are going so well. Now I got eggs and honey, so I can take eggs and honey to someone else and get bread. And
Right.
still give you eggs for honey.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? That's the flow dojo. So it's no different you boxing than coming on the roar and then you doing your rope and all these things. They're different forms of exercise, but at the same time, it's creating one breath, which in turn creates one endurance, one stamina, one health.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't have quite the science on this yet, but I was thinking recently. Do you know what the natural heart rate is for a human being?
No, I don't.
I'm not sure either, but it's around 70 beats per minute, which is very interesting because that's kind of like the reggae rhythm guitar. And I got to do a little research, but I think
I never knew that.
Yeah, and don't like, I'm not saying it's facts, but I think that there's a correlation there between the natural rhythm of the human heart and the reggae rhythm guitar around 70 beats per minute. I just wanted to say that because I've been meaning to go a little bit deeper into that.
Well, we're about to do that now.
Okay.
Because part of the podcast we're going to have to do some fact checking.
Yeah, like this is a good opportunity to fact check. And obviously,
Right.
you know, it's going to depend. It's going to depend on a bunch of different factors, right? How,
Right.
you know, and so it's going to be hard to say for exact, but I would find it very interesting is if a healthy human, if that most natural resting heart rate is right there at the reggae rhythm guitar.
And right here it says it starts with the sinoatrial, which is the SA node, the natural pacemaker, and coordinates contractions, usually anywhere between 60 to 100 beats per minute for adults.
Okay, so it's in the range somewhere. It's just a matter of like, you know, maybe under the different the different variables of each person. Like that person that has that 70 beats per minute is in a very good, calm, happy, relaxed state.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask this then. So I said that. What's the natural heartbeat or resting rate of a heartbeat of a heart? It says, hold on.
Maybe you say a healthy heart.
Let me get back to it. Move this over and break this back down. Ooh. No, break that back up. Break this back up. Break that back up. I want to see this. They said that many specialists consider a resting heart rate between 50 and 85 beats per minute.
Okay. Well,
For optimal, hold up, for optimal relaxed state for non-athletes. But if you are an athlete, they say it should be much lower, between 40 to 60 beats per minute.
Huh. All right.
Yep.
So I mean, it's in the range there because that rhythmic guitar, like it varies a little bit. Also, it's not exact on every song, but usually you're getting like that 60 to 80.
Yeah. Well, and that's in the perfect range of that.
Right.
So 70 is sufficient.
Yeah. So that may be another thing at play on why it has the effect on people that it does.
Right. And we can use that number to our advantage based on the simple fact that, it's not 60, right? It's not the lowest on the totem pole, but we can give them the next aim up, and that would be what we strive for, to keep you at a 70
heart rate. Yeah, and
right?
that can all be measured nowadays with all the technology.
Right.
And a 70 heart rate, like it's still that's why, again, when you go back to the rowing, it's not as intense. And so you can still, even though maybe your natural heart rate is like 50 or 60, you can get up to like that 70 or 80 range, but you won't really feel like it's overexertion.
Right. Well, actually, you'll be in the range of what's optimal, so that you probably won't even notice, other than you're sleeping better, you're eating better, those type of things.
Right.
You probably won't notice the breath itself, or unless you're just conscious of it, but you should notice it by your physiology changing.
Exactly. So, these are all things that, we can, we can further explore, we can talk to other people about, because it's very interesting, and again, going back to the naturalness.
Well, I think it's something that we should further explore, because it says, for even in a resting state for non athletes, it's between 50 and 85, and be with athletes is 40 and 60. So also too, just as well as we want your heart rate to be at a certain level working out in that place, we also want you to be in a calm and relaxed state, to when you're at your total peace, that is at a sufficient rate, that where you can still remain in that flow dojo state.
Right. And as Tuff said, it's the flow dojo state of mind.
Well, that's exactly what it is. So we have a target range from 40 to 100, based on the lore. From 40 to 60 with an athlete, we know that, you're pretty much in optimal shape. And from the 50 to 85, we know that you're non-athlete. So we're going to work with you in the range. We're trying to get you at a 70 rate heart rate, 70 beats per minute heart rate, just so you can have a good rest that night. As opposed that we know you're an athlete, we're going to shoot you to up to 90 to 100 because we know we want to drop you down to anywhere between 40 and 60 in your rest state.
Yep, yep.
So we have to really understand. So we really have to understand the balances of the difference and begin to strategize and structure our method that's going to bring forth the exact result that we're looking for. Whether that's if you want to rest more, you're going to have to hype up your heart more. If you want to be able to have more stamina, you're going to have to be at a more consistent rate to where your heart rate's at a 70 pace and it's moving and it's moving and it's moving and it's moving to the point to where you're holding conversation, you're speaking, and after you done ran 2 miles, you don't even feel like you move. And that's the stamina that Flow Dojo is going to bring you by measuring your heartbeat to a beats per minute machine. And in this structure, your breath would naturally begin to ascend, meaning that it will begin to bring you more endurance. This is the natural process. Would you agree?
It is. And um the like I try to, before I can, like anything that I remember I talked about, like I like to bring receipts.
Yes.
I don't have enough receipts on anything that deals with the heart to be able to speak on it with like a full understanding as of yet.
Okay, what would be one of the things that you outlined that would give you that template?
I would need to get a heart rate monitor and work out and study.
A heart rate monitor, meaning doing one's heart rate before the exercise and do it after the exercise
and during the whole time, and then just go into studying the effects of the movements and see how it goes up, see how it goes down, experiment with different music, different
you talking about that. Would that be considered like that blood pressure thing also?
You strap it to, it's similar. It's similar but different. The heart rate monitor, you strap it around your chest, and so it's right on your solar plexus.
Okay.
And so it's sensitive to the beating of the heart.
Your vibration.
Yeah, I can look one up. I could probably get one used for pretty cheap, but before I really speak on this, I need to experiment with myself.
Well, that's another I won't say an added module, but that would be an added bonus to what you're doing to give more people perspective.
Yeah, and again, when you give them facts, when you can show science, it really can get their attention.
Right. Because at this point now, we got to start really thinking that it's like, I might get the word wrong, but it's like a homeopathic type of healing at this point. Because once you start monitoring to the heart rate, now you begin to adjust one's stamina at that point. You know what I mean? Because just say, for example, we do someone's heart rate and it's at 55. And we know that our minimum requirement to say that you're out the door is at a 70. So now we know exactly what type of workout is necessary to build the breath up in this individual to be able just to get to the point to have endurance.
Yeah. And, we're still, do you remember when we were, I think it was maybe last meeting, and I said and you were asking the difference between like a group session and a one-on-one session?
Yes, I remember that.
And I was saying how with the one-on-ones, I have like more time and attention of the participant to elaborate on the science.
Yes.
And which we even, me and you have hardly scratched the surface on.
Correct.
So I I think as of right now, and this is, I'm talking about scratching the surface that I've already, um, you know, is like that I already have, which I don't have on the heart rate stuff. And even if we were to get some people for the next session, they would be like months away from even getting to the heart rate things.
Right, right, right.
And I think one of my like for and you can see also how like the stuff is so interesting that you can just go on and on forever into research.
Well, yeah, and at some point you have to put a break on it because you will be doing that.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm like as we're talking about like heart rates, I'm like, we know it's there, right? Like it's right here. We can go into it whenever we want. But let's say Top Stock, for example, like he signs up, it would be months before we got into the heart rate stuff with them because there's so much more that should come by, I think, before that.
Right. And knowing the seriousness of what he desires.
Yes, exactly. Because he might not even like. You think that even Lane, right? Like Lane, he just wants to have a fun work out to his music on time and on tempo. I'm sure eventually maybe he'd be interested in the heart rates, but it's not something that's like a priority for him.
Right. That's not something he's going out saying, hey, you know anybody that check we can check my heart rate?
Exactly. It's just like it's not really a priority. I think in these early stages, we should just like focus on the most important things, which is stay at.
Right.
I mean, even just telling people to stay on tempo and on time is a ton.
Right. Well, and that's the topic of conversation.
Yeah. And so I'm still going to look into this heart rate stuff, but when it comes to other people and new participants and new sessions, like I think it should probably just leave it to the side until I get some definitive answers on it.
I would say that too, and if you are going to research that, you do that with yourself.
Right, and everything I got to verify personally before I got to verify it and understand it before I tell other people about it.
Right, right, and what you have found interesting.
Right, and it's something that's interesting and useful and easy enough to explain to other people so they can then verify it for themselves.
Right. Right. Indeed.
So, we want it to be so. This stuff is irrefutable.
Exactly.
I like that, and I like the word because, with irrefutable stuff, no one can question it, and or not that they can't question it, but they can't knock it unless they've tried it. And if they do try it, they'll see it, and so it gives us a very strong position with potential naysayers.
Right. Exactly.
Which will show up at some point.
Exactly. Exactly.
But if you have everything, like what can they say? That's how you prevent them from getting involved.
Right. Right.
So I guess really the only other thing that like I wanted to do today was, what do you think about possibly doing okay, because the way I would talk to Top Stock is different than the way that I would speak to Ozzy.
Of course, me too.
Like Top Stock, when I've spoken to him on a few occasions, and he's like more my age, I think. Like he's a little bit different. Like I would approach Ozzy with a little bit more respect, and like he's more of an elder type. You know what I mean?
No, for real.
Yeah.
No, it's the same. It's the same here.
Okay, and so when we do our next, I just think it would be fun to look at the different styles of invitations to the different artists.
Right.
And
and that's having a somewhat understanding of their energy.
For sure. And that's going to make that pitch that much more appealing too, because not only is it saying their names, but also like matching their vibes.
That's what it is. You're appealing to them how you know you can talk to them.
Uh-huh.
As opposed to trying to talk to them and you don't know how.
Right. And
I know that's saying the same thing twice, but it's really saying something different.
uh-huh. And the you know, like again, back to naturalness. Like my video to Top Stock came out very natural because I kind of know his personality.
Right.
And it's just so I would think once we start sending them out, it's going to be that much more effective.
Right.
Because wow, he really is talking to me. Like this really is
bro,
a personalized message, an invitation.
Bro, you send that to him right now, he'll respond to you within the next 24 hours.
Yeah, so we're ready to send that one out.
What you gonna do with it?
I didn't know if we were waiting for anything. Like if there's a reason to like to not do that yet, but I have it ready to go. If it's time to send.
The only thing that point is if he's interested, we pick a date. That's the only thing that we're waiting on.
Okay, all right. I'll send it as soon as we hang up.
Yeah, you know, what do you think about it?
I thought it was great.
Hey, bro, there's nothing like it. And let me tell you why it's nothing like it. It's nothing special about the clip. Nothing special about the clip at all. What's going to be like about it is you receive something in your wildest imagination. You never thought it'd be addressed to you in that type of way.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
You know how many reels are sent to people to post and repost, and it's never once like, hey, Flow Dojo, man. Hey, man, I'm just sending a word to you about my post that I want you to repost. It's me being at the World Beat Theater covering an artist that I feel is valuable. If you have time, go ahead and post it, then send the video. Nobody does that.
So not at all.
So can you imagine you opening up your messages and this messages is for you?
Yeah.
Hey, Top Stock, like literally, it's for you.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you're gonna do? You're gonna listen, and you're not gonna go all the way through. You know why? Because you're gonna think you missed something because it said, "Hey, Top Stock, it caught him off guard." So before he even finishes, he's gonna go back to the beginning because he wants to be surprised again. And he'll get that one last feeling. And that second one, that's what's gonna catch him. Because literally, because he's gonna think he listened to all of it all the way through, but he doesn't know that his mind is fragmented. He wanted to go back to the excitement. Why? Because emotionally, he had a thrill. He felt like somebody cared. He was mentioned by name.
Right.
I'm somebody. I'm noticed. I'm recognized. Finally.
Yep. And what was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say, but yeah, I completely agree. And we'll see if we get a response. But I think there's nothing like it.
See where we get a response. We are getting a response.
Right. Yeah, for sure. You can't not. I mean, all we're asking for is a conversation. We're not asking to sign up for anything.
And you see how you just said that? We're not asking for. We just
we're not asking for them to sign up for anything.
Right. We just asking for a conversation. We're not asking you to sign up for anything. That's going to be your signature line out.
Okay, I like it. It's good.
For a conversation. I'm not asking you to sign up for anything.
Just talk. Right? Yeah.
That's your sign out.
Yep. And even that just is very natural for me. You know, that's
why I'm saying it, because I felt that. So that's why I'm saying that's your sign out right there when you do the video invitation.
Yep.
I'm just asking for a conversation. I'm not asking you to sign up for anything.
Uh-huh.
Most people will come back for that conversation.
Agree.
Not ask them to sign up for anything.
Right. And when you were talking about like, oh wow, they really, they care and they notice. And that's the reaction after just seeing a 1 minute video. And then they're like, and you're telling me you guys have an entire day of stuff, like that's um uh if that one little video makes that much of an impression, what can these two do for me over the course of an entire day?
Yeah, then now you got me thinking. Now I gotta go find, I don't know, because I lost that phone. I gotta go find and see if I have some podcast segments of me, you, and Lane or Shannon or whatever. And then we can do it. Hold up. Don't send it.
Okay, that's why I didn't send it. I didn't know. I figured there still may be more.
Yeah, we're gonna make another one.
Okay.
The next one's we're gonna highlight the podcast.
I have a clip. That I like, just a very brief clip that I can tag in there because I have Lene boxing twice, and I left that last segment. I don't really need him boxing twice. I can use I'll replace one of the boxing segments with this quick clip I have of us just sitting around on the couch being interviewed by Marley.
No, we leave that one as is.
Oh, okay.
This one now, we're gonna create a whole nother one. This is just for us now getting better at what we're gonna do. So now what
the extended template.
Exactly. So we'll send that to him, right? When he respond, we send the podcast one to him. After the workout, we sit and have podcast talk, and we might you can add it to where you hear a little conversation. You know what I mean? This is the reasoning that we have after the podcast. You know what I mean? We want to tailor it to your experience, your mind, your thought, your belief.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then we can make a whole nother thing. Hey, yes. Top Stack, by the way, you know what I mean? Hey, Top Stack, by the way, we have a podcast segment right after our Flow Dojo workout. This is where you can sit down and unleash your thoughts. We're going to talk mind, body, and soul and everything that's in between that's on your mind.
Right. And they could even maybe get like a second video. Like they get the first video, let's get a conversation, and then they get a follow-up video to like build the anticipation for the actual day. And then they can take that video and send it to their friends and be like, look, we just got to rally up $500 and we can get all this.
Right.
And or rally up 1,000.
Or so then we can say, hey, then that's another thing. Hey, Top Stock, this is a special offer we got to you, man. You can bring 5 people at $200 a piece, or you can bring 10 people at $100 a piece. No matter what it is, no matter what the charge, we're going to get the job done. Whatever. Something's like,
Right. And also, like, we can send the first one out, and if we don't get responses, then we send out the extended clip.
Yeah, but look, and the main thing about it is we're having fun. It's really it's to learn and grow and develop. I'm not saying that, but it's having fun because we don't know where it's going to take us.
Very true. And it's being able to sit with that uncertainty.
Exactly. And to grow from it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because we can look back at this video in 2031. It was like, oh man, what were we thinking? Wow,
Right.
And then we start releasing all these old videos, behind the scene trailer talks, and nobody knows what's going on. Then they start seeing this. They was like, man, that was a well genius style plan.
Well genius style.
Yeah,
and if you were to do how would you, let's just say right now, if we're going to send an outbound video to Ozzy, how would you do that?
Well, Ozzy, I'll be like, hey man, Long time no here, you know? We got the thing going on with Flow Dojo. We're working out down at the Magical Media Center. We want you to come be a part of greatness. I know that you strum that guitar very well. Your voice is very strong. We want to enhance that with stamina. We want to enhance that with a stronger heart rate.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right. But 100%, but like you could already feel the change of the tone.
right.
Of that one versus the top stock. But like
Right.
I get what you're saying though, and I agree that that is the tone towards Ozzy.
Right. Yeah, because he's gonna want a conversation.
Exactly. And so like between now and the next time we talk, we'll start thinking about, because we'll, the official recording of that. I don't know what I'm going to get from this phone recording, but
Right.
like we can, even later this week, with our mind focused on reaching out to Ozzy, just talk about Ozzy and then I'll pick the clips what I think would be good for the invitation.
Well, and that's what happened with Top Stop. Remember, we was involved in a 10-minute talk already, and then it came about. And I say we do the same thing with Ozzy. We begin to talk about experiences, his music,
I'll get more familiar with his music
and let in that conversation to flow, and we'll create the voice of him.
Right. And like, so for the next few days, I'll just fully listen to Ozzy's music. I'm actually pretty familiar with it already, but I'll go deeper into it. But
one of the things that I want to interview him on is he got a song called "The Meaning of Success."
Oh, fantastic song.
Yeah, so that's one of the ones that I personally that I've been wanting to dialogue with him with. I was going to talk to him one night about it, but the people that were around, I didn't want that energy, so I just told him I'd catch up with him later, and that was like almost a year and a half ago. But but I knew if I'd have did it right then and there, I wouldn't have got what I wanted.
Right, and another song like that's a great message in that song. Another one that's great is "Only the Strong Survive."
Only the strong survive, baby.
And
Man.
if we want to survive, we got to, again, I believe that wholeheartedly, that only the strong survive, and we see the weak folding every day.
Right.
And so how do we get stronger? Let's start with the physicalities.
Right. And then he got another song, I think it's called Razor Thin or Razor Sharp or some razor.
Okay.
That's a nice one too. Very how would I say that? Very, very intelligent.
All right.
Not so much mentally, but the intelligent of just the whole concept.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I'm saying it right.
I'll check it.
Right. I'm starting to get better with my little laptop. So yeah, he got this. The one of the songs I'm talking about, The Secret to Success.
Uh-huh.
And then he has I'm trying to hold on. I like Global. Oh, Sharp as a Razor.
Nice.
That's the name of the song.
Okay. And I remember what I was going to say before was when Top Stock opens up his video and he hears his own music as the background track.
Right.
There's like, wait, what? Like, it's that has such a powerful impact. We'll do the same thing with Ozzy, but I'll listen through his catalog and we'll find some good ones.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you in no particular order. The secret to me, the secret to success. Sharp as a razor, strong survive, keep the faith, and the system. That's my top 5.
Yeah, the system. Yep, perfect. He perfect candidate. And we're talking about right now invitations. Eventually, we only accept applications.
Man.
You know, like you need to send us a video of yourself and what you do to like apply for a day.
Hey, man. So one of my consultations that I've been having with artists, and no one is seeming to catch on, and it's relating to exactly what you're saying. I've been telling artists I want to be their producer and manager of their video resume, meaning that I've been telling artists for a long time, hey man, create a video resume and explain who you are, what you do, what's your mission, and why you're here. Say, for example, I've been telling Tough, I said, Tough, put you playing music, and have you singing. Now go in where there's space music and you're not singing, that's where you talk. And when your voice come in, fade that in and start singing a little bit more, fade that back out and talk some more. Hi, I'm the toughest of the tough lion, and I'm coming to all of North America. And his music come on back in. Da, 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 da. You can catch me. Come and book me. Here's my Gmail address to book me for tour on yada yada. You know what I mean? But you people hear the video, see the video, and now you guide them with your voice. What do you want them to do?
Yeah.
Same thing with us with Top Stock. It's the same concept.
Yeah, I mean, it gives them an opportunity to like showcase that for themselves.
Yes.
But well, I think we have. I got to find this. I've been trying to find this passage that I read. I found in this book where it talks about. I'll find it. I'll screenshot it to you. But that when people understand each other, it means that they're in agreement.
Right.
You know, and that is what there's so many differences between people that they don't agree on. There's too many things that they don't agree on, and so they don't understand each other.
Right.
But the reason why, you know, with these, like, you know, our language that we speak, because we speak with the language of understanding.
The way.
It is the way. And if can you imagine if everyone spoke like this?
I do manifest it, and I'm starting to bring in the people who speak like this to me. Or I'm going to them.
And it's something about like when remember we used to talk a little bit about language. Like our language is very precise. So we don't have to like waste any time when we get to our points.
Agree.
And that's why we can be as productive as we are in like a 40-minute meeting, which may take a group of 10 people, you know, a couple of weeks to figure out.
Well, and I also think that we speak in a lot of free association into where a lot of business people, they only want to speak on focus.
Agree.
So a lot of times, speaking on focus, I don't get to understand your personality because you're putting your business foot forward.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want to know if we're in a business and we're talking, I want to know that you do reggae and dub, because I might have an interest in that. I do want to know if you run marathons, because I might have an interest in that. You know what I mean? So me knowing Brian as a personality rather than Brian just a worker, I don't get nowhere with you as a worker. So I'm gonna be in disagreement with you every time we come across the table at each other.
Right. And the sad thing is they think by being focused, they're saving time, but really they're just spinning their wheels.
Yeah.
And they'd be much more effective and efficient if they just had it more set up like how we do it.
And it's called balancing of the differences. That's all it is. It's balances of the differences. Meaning that if you speak of who you are and I speak of who I am, we'll find more of agreement of the things that we associate with, that our business will commingle with what we're interested in, rather than speaking business and we have no interest in anything.
Right, exactly. Yep.
You may be the one person that like doing, like Mike do, raising rabbits, and wouldn't you know, that's what I do.
Yeah.
All our differences has now been what they call channeled through rabbits.
Right.
So now that we have rabbits in common, everything else of our differences is going to resolve itself, because we're always going to go to our fundamental principle. You enjoy rabbits, I enjoy rabbits.
Yeah. And it can be like anything, but you find someone that has that common interest, and all of a sudden, all the the business stuff just works itself out anyway.
Right, because we have found a common interest outside of what doesn't matter to what really matters. My personal interest supersedes my business thoughts every day. And I know you're human. I know your personal interest supersede your business thoughts every day. And we see people leaving jobs making 10 figures, and they're leaving jobs because they want to pursue hiking.
Right.
Their interests.
Yeah. And the money will follow.
Yeah, because you're rich. You're rich from the choice.
Uh-huh.
Whatever else,
It's true. And
whatever else,
you're
you're rich
rich.
from the choice. Whatever else follows is just a bonus. You could be rich and still don't own a home.
Bro, you're rich from the realness.
There you go.
If you just stay real with yourself, and as you said, follow the interest, the riches are right there. You're rich with realness.
There you go. And so, knowing that, we have to always move forward with a vision. We have to always move forward with a plan. And not only just a plan, an action plan, meaning that it has movement, it has choices, it has decisions, it has good times, it has bad times, it has spring ups, and it has spring downs. What I'm trying to say is, as long as you're moving, you're learning. As long as you're learning, you're growing. As long as you're growing, you're developing. If you're developing, you're laying foundation. If you're laying foundation, you're putting up structure.
Right. If you're putting up structure, then there's nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about.
Like you're doing those, and I have to remind myself this all the time. It's like, I feel like I should be doing more. And I think we talked this before, but at the end of the day, when it's the time, it's the time. And anything else is just unnecessary anxiety and stress.
Right.
And again, like you look at the, linear thinking. Oh, this has to be done by this. We just got more done in, an hour. And anytime we need to do something, we know we're capable of doing it.
And that's the most important thing that people need to understand. Anything that you need done, you are capable of having it done. It takes a thought and an action. The plans will come naturally. It just takes a thought and action. And once you move forward, you begin to develop, you begin to grow, you begin to lay foundation and set up structure. That is the basis of just knowing who you are and where you want to go, having a thought and an action behind it. That's it. Simple. You grow.
Yeah. And were you able to record this on your end? Do you know?
Well, that's what I'm doing now. I'm doing segments.
Okay. Is it just Like, do you see the split screen, or what's the screen look like? Because
Oh,
I don't know what I'm going to get from a phone recording, if I'll be able
okay.
to.
Well, right now it looks like you're on the phone. You're the long rectangle,
Uh huh.
and then I'm a shorter rectangle the opposite way. So you're what, portrait, and I'm
Yeah.
landscape.
Okay. Um.
It'll work.
Okay. All right. It's fine. I have two portraits, which I usually I cut them and kind of fit them, but we'll see how it goes. But in any case, I'm going to send that to Top Stock right now, and then um, let's maybe even by the end of the week, let's get the Aussie going.
Okay.
And yeah, I would like ideally to get 2 or 3 sessions in at like the end of February, if possible, and then I'll be back in Southern California mid-April. And
So
so, I, like,
when you say sessions, meaning YouTube?
no, like at the Magical Media House, Flow
Oh,
Dojo sessions.
okay. Next month?
Like at the end of next month, yeah. If we can get like 2 or 3, that'd be
Okay.
ideal. And so that's why I want to send Top Stock today. Maybe send out Aussies on Friday, and just start sending these out. I mean, I can cut up these videos. It takes me like an hour maybe to get something good, but well, I don't know, maybe a little more than an hour, but like I can basically what I'm saying is like I can get those invitation videos out pretty fast.
Well, it'd be much easier when we're doing it with intention too.
Yeah, and so our
Meaning,
intention
meaning,
for
meaning that we'll be able to speak into the, or at least I'll be able to speak in the camera, then you'll be able to do your thing. And so the intention to be there. So like you said earlier, we'll be able to get more done within 30 to 40 minutes than anything.
right. So
I mean, so
that
we can come in off the top. That's the focus. Let's go.
exactly, and that's what we'll plan on. So I'm going to be working out to Aussies for the next few days, and maybe we'll link again on Friday. I'll cut up the video over the weekend and then send it out next week, and we'll see what Top Stock says.
Okay. That's gonna be interesting.
It sure is. It's exciting. I think also we can't forget to enjoy this part of the process. Like the first sales videos being sent out, or the first we call them invitations. These initial like these first several invitations. Like it's a journey, and it's exciting just to see what the responses are. Like what if we get like 5 for 5 on the first ones we send? You know what I mean?
That'll let you know that we really are targeting marketing the right way.
Yeah, remember we talked about sniping, right? If we're like bing, bing, and we're going 5 for 5, I mean, how exciting would that be? So, it's all, it's part of that unpaved path, man.
Amen. Well, I'm glad I'm trotting the way.
Yeah, man, it's exciting, and every time we speak, it's more steps and trotting further and further. So,
and we're going with the flow because in a minute we're gonna have a podcast that's gonna be so provocative with how we speak. People are not gonna just want to come over there and talk exercise. They just want to going to talk about they're gonna want to speak. They're gonna want to speak in deep terms.
Yeah, anything. There's no topics that are off limits. Exactly. And even when you say slow down and go with the flow, remember when I first sent you that list of 10 artists, and then you were kind of like, no, let's just start with one, because if I sent the same one to all 10, it wouldn't be nearly as good as sending a good one to these first 5.
Exactly.
And so to really
or not even the first one in the first 5, the first one to the first one.
Right. Exactly. But that's such a, again, I got to remind myself, it's like, it's step by step, and almost the slower the flow, faster does not mean better, and slower does not mean worse. And in these terms, a lot of times it's the opposite.
Well, I believe right now, the faster we run, we're going to trip over our shoestrings. The slower we go, we can bend down the tide and start all over again. So that's the purpose of having patience rather than just moving fast.
Right, right. And the what is it? The turtle, in time beats the rabbit.
Yeah, what is that? The
Turtle win the
tortoise
race.
and the hare.
Yeah, exactly. But it's the same type of message.
Right. Exactly. It is the message.
Yeah. And I think that, certain personalities, um, have to really remind themselves of that, often.
True.
And I'm one of them.
I,
So,
I'm the best example you can have. I've been
right.
moving, I've been moving top speed all my life and haven't gotten nowhere fast. But I'm slowing down now and realize I've been ahead of the pack all the while. So I just been chasing my own self
Right.
backwards because I've been looking at my shadow.
Yeah. And that's not what we want to do.
Not at all.
But all right, I'm happy with the agenda. I hope next time I speak to you, it's about Top Stock one in the discussion.
Right. And so also too, I'm gonna be doing, and I'm gonna be doing it the same way also too, because I'm gonna be doing small. I'm about to do stall. I'm gonna start small and do small podcast segments. So like with Ozzy,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna do 2 songs with him. The secret of success and
Uh-huh.
as sharp as a razor. But what I'm gonna do is gonna be a radio podcast. So I'm gonna play 2 songs from him, but in each song, just say like the secret of success. I'm gonna loop the instrumental part and put a 2-minute conversation between him and I. Whoop,
Fire, fire.
right? And then it's
Yep.
going to go to then it's going to go to another, then it's going to play 1 or 2 songs by somebody else, and it's going to go to another song by him, get to a point to where I can have like where I can loop it. It's going to have another 2-minute conversation with him. That's going to be it, right? And then at the beginning of the show, I'm going to have it's going to be an instrumental of one of his dubs, and he's going to introduce, hey, I'm Ozzy Delamore with the High Tribe. I've been an artist for umpteen years. I'm from the Virgin Islands, and I'm going to leave it at that, right?
Yep.
And then at the end, I'm going to have him say, like, I hope you're recording this too, because I want to get the recording of that. And at the end, I'm going to have him say, hey, man, it's been nice being with the Magical Media Podcast and the host, Marv Mashin. Please reach out to my Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok at Ozzy Delamore, yada, 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 and let it go out.
Yep. Perfect.
So not long. So the question I'm gonna just ask, what is success to you? And have a and that'll be it.
And what a powerful question. Isn't that like one of the most important questions that every single person should be asking themselves all the time?
Right. Exactly.
It's such an important. They should, people should be continually asking themselves that.
You would think you would think so, but again, I might have to record. I said you would think so, but again, we are programmed from the womb up until we are adults not to self-think, not to know thyself, not to have any awareness of who you are, what you're doing, why you should be doing anything. You have been taught to be unsuccessful. You have been taught to have trauma where there's no trauma. I'm not going to say there's no trauma, but we have excessive traumas now, meaning that, you know what I mean? Like for me, I got whooping when I was a kid, right? But now I be seeing people on these internet, oh, I was whooped as a kid. I can't function as an adult. And I'm thinking in my mind, like, I don't know. Like, that didn't affect me like that. And I got whoopings.
Yeah, yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is that we're over traumatized with things that isn't traumable.
Right. Yeah, I mean, some people would say that whoopings are natural.
I say they're natural.
I'd agree. I mean, I don't. It's like, sure, it's not the best, but it's not like, it's not something you can't overcome as you get older. That you got some whoopings.
So what would be better? Just get out of my house and don't come back?
Uh-huh.
Or these are my rules. If you want to live here, there's consequences to actions too.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like, I mean, again, it's debatable on whether whoopings are the right thing or not, but I'm saying it can be argued that it's like a natural way for adults to discipline their children to make them better humans.
But you want to hear something crazy?
Huh.
I only whooped one of my kids one time. I haven't whooped none of my kids. I only whooped one of my kids one time.
Yeah, because you probably didn't have to because they behave now.
Well, no, not that. Not that. I feel as I got now that I'm older, I know that I can talk to you faster than I can whoop you. And like just the other day, my son ran out in the street and the car was actually coming.
Uh-huh.
Stop! And he kept going. Luckily, the lady in the car stopped. I wanted to run across the street and beat the hell out of him.
Sure.
But I knew the message that I had for him would have missed the point after the whooping. Meaning that I whoop his ass, then I try to tell him why I whooped his ass because he should have did this, and that, and the other. He's not trying to hear that shit.
Then it's already done.
It's done.
Yeah.
My punishment has been served, so I'm not listening.
Yep.
So then this is what I did. I called Nikki outside. Nikki, get the car. Get in the fucking car. Get right here. I said, look. I had Nikki push that car, and not to where it hurt me, but it moved me enough to know that little force pushed me. I said, now imagine she's driving 10 miles an hour, you weigh 29 pounds, and this thing hits you. What do you think is going to happen to you? He said, I'm going to be in the air. I said, you're goddamn right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's life lessons. You know, that's, and yeah, we all need them, no matter how old we are.
Well, you're right. But I'm saying that to say this, I agree. Whooping is a natural thing to me. However, as I got older, I realized I'm more powerful and effective speaking to my kids rather than whooping them.
Right.
That's me though. Now I haven't been faced with a lot of situations where my kids misbehave that warrant the ass whooping right on the spot either.
Right. And they also, like, we don't want the young ones to think that that's the go-to method, when you're upset. Exactly. Like it's better to show, as you said, by speaking and just, doing what you do rather than physical. But, because at the end of the day, we want them to be able to solve all their problems with just the words too.
And Brian, I see it, and it's very effective with my 11-year-old because he doesn't get emotional. I realize, like, he gets under my skin now because he doesn't get emotional about shit. I could be getting at him, and he'd be like, "I understand."
Yeah, and does that bother you? Because I feel like my dad feels that way when you're talking. Like my dad gets pissed because nothing really bothers me.
Let me say this. I love it if you do it to other people. I'm your father. Open up. But for him, and I get it. And there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. It's me at this point. I can't accept it now, right? I was like yesterday, we were speaking. We took him to a water park, and he was just ripping and running and forgetting about his little brother. And I pulled him. I said, hey, man, check this out. I said, this is how we can do this. I said, you can have fun as a kid and have your little brother along with you. You just be a little bit more responsible, but you can have your own independent fun. Or I can come along and monitor both of you guys, and what I see fit's not going to go.
Right.
And he was like, I understand. All right, Mutombo, this is how we're going to do it. He started giving instructions to a little brother right there on the spot. All right, Mutombo, this is how we're going to do it. You're going to stay close to me, and we're going to do this, that, and the other. and you know what I mean, and they went off and had a good day.
Perfect.
But I want to let him know that if you want to have a good day, take your brother along. If you don't want to have a good day, I'm coming along.
Uh-huh.
But my
Well,
point, what I'm trying to say now is, Brian, like, again, if I have to whoop him, I will. But that's not my first method of practice. But I am saying this because I'm 55, about to be 55 years old. So I am saying this now as a mature man, as opposed to a 19-year-old father.
right. Yeah. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's. I mean, I can only imagine, raising kids and everything that comes with that, and a 19-year-old man, like, you know, they're not. A lot of times they're just simply not ready. They're not developed themselves enough.
And that's why you whoop your child.
Right.
You don't
Exactly.
you don't even have enough experience on this earth to talk to your child because no one's talked to you.
And you don't even know how to talk to yourself.
Man, listen, man. All the kids at my job, they hella mad at me. They be fucking pissed at me. But I'm not like the other RAs because I hold them accountable. You're going to be responsible around me. I'm not going to allow you to sleep and slack, and I'm not going to do that. Slumber. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have you respectful and responsible because when you go out to this workplace, they don't give a fuck you coming to work 40 minutes late because you're not coming tomorrow.
Right.
And they allow you to come 40 minutes late here because there's nobody holding you accountable and responsible. So if I allow you to do that on my watch and this guy keep allowing doing it on the next watch, you need to just go home. Your
Yeah,
turn.
they're really doing them a disservice because they're thinking that that's normal, and they're going to download those habits and patterns that's going to mess them up for the rest of their lives if they do.
I get into it with a lot of my other co-workers, man, because they like, oh man, you making us work. No, I'm making them responsible, and making them responsible makes you have to work.
Right.
You know, like in the mornings they have to be up by 6:15 to sign this roster. When I'm there, everybody's up. They already know that's how Marvin is. But when I'm not there, the guy makes they don't got to sign it to 7:45. So sometimes that spills over into like today. It's a couple of like 7 kids. It spilled over to 7 kids today. Oh, well, Mr. Maurice don't be tripping like you. Yeah, he doesn't be tripping. I'm sure you like that, but he's setting you up to be a lazy person.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well,
Yeah,
let me get after this first outbound. This is like a big milestone for me to send this out.
there you go. I got to go out here and put the tarp on the ducks, and I'm gonna get situated and take a shower and get ready to lay down so I can get ready for work.
All right. But good talk. Let's plan on Friday if you have time.
What time Friday?
Or actually Thursday or Friday. Anytime. I'm wide open.
Okay, well check this out. I'm working overtime Friday,
All right.
so that's why I say what time Friday. If you want to do it at well, it depends what time. Because at night I can do it there at night because it's gonna be all the kids are probably gonna be gone or asleep. Thursday, I'll let you know how tomorrow goes.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, no rush. Either one, I'll be open. So,
That's why I said. That's why I said let's do it today because tomorrow I got to go do some stuff at a bank. So I don't know how long that's going to take me because I'm trying to get some checks cashed from my mother and she's passed. So I know I got the paperwork and stuff, but I know I'm gonna have to do a lot of stuff.
yeah, Thursday or Friday gives me enough time to meditate on Ozzy's music.
Okay,
But either one of those days would be fine with me.
that'll work.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, give thanks. Talk soon.
Yes, I.
Peace.
Peace.